Assalamualaikum and good day to our scientific inquiry lecturer, Puan Mashita Sabdin, and to all viewers. This video is to present our data from our survey, and our working title is The Rise of Cybersecurity Risks, Struggles of Society During Coronavirus Pandemic. Before starting, allow me to have a brief introduction of my group mates. Consists of Ashley Kwa, Lee Baijan, Nishanti Naidu Anandan, Nur Izzah Norsham, and lastly myself, Nur Hayati Rashid.
Our research objectives are as follows. 1. To study and investigate the people in Malaysia who have been affected by cybersecurity threats during this COVID-19 pandemic. 2. To discuss the impact of cybersecurity risk on the society. 3. To investigate and suggest ways on how to mitigate and prevent these risks. 4. To educate and alert the society about the dangers of cybersecurity risks. 5. To study ways that can improve effectiveness and reliability of cybersecurity during this pandemic. Our 5 research questions are: 1. What are the main threats posed by cybersecurity risks towards the Malaysian society during the COVID-19 pandemic? 2. What are the ways to improve the effectiveness and reliability of cybersecurity in Malaysia during COVID-19 pandemic? 3. What will happen if cybersecurity threats and risks are not treated with proper action? 4. Who is responsible for curbing and avoiding cybersecurity threats, and what are the actions they must do to prevent it? 5. Why is it important to gain knowledge about cybersecurity threats, and how will it help the society? Our research topic has 3 research hypotheses to be tested out. 1. If the public is educated well and have cybersecurity awareness, then the cyber threats can be prevented. 2. If the security of online platforms is improved, then the cyber threats will decrease. 3. If all organization work are done through the online platforms during pandemic COVID-19, then they are more exposed to cyber threats. For research methodology, first, we have done literature reviews on appropriate and relevant journal articles to our research topic about the struggles of cybersecurity risks on Malaysian society during COVID-19 pandemic. 2. We have conducted a survey through Google Forms for about 3 weeks long, and we have collected answers from respondents in order to study more deeply about the different experiences on how to improve cybersecurity during this pandemic.
We spread the survey form through WhatsApp and resulted in 95 responses answer the questions. We divided the form into 2 sections. Section 1 is demographic questions, consists of 4 questions about the age, origin, occupational, and sectors they work in. The second section consists of 8 questions, where 6 questions is quantitative type and last 2 questions are qualitative type. The first question is about the age of the respondents. The highest range of the age that answers the survey is around 19 to 25 years old and made up 50.5%, a little bit higher than half. To conclude from the data obtained, youth or students are the heaviest social media users during pandemic COVID-19. However, this could be the source of limitation as we mostly spread the online survey among our friends. Regardless, we received quite fair distribution amongst the age group and could analyze the data unbiasedly. As seen in the graph below, based on the second question of the origin, most of our participants are from Perak, which contains 40%, and Sabah is the second highest, which has 14.7%, while Sarawak is the third, which consists of 9.5% the respondent, while the rest of the states are minor. Although this case study was focused on Malaysia, we did not disregard foreigners living in Malaysia and had also included them in our analysis. This data is important as this might be the factors on how heavy their usage of internet, since this is an online survey. The third question is asking the occupational status, and undoubtedly the highest is 48.4% of our respondents are students, and the second highest is 32.6% are employed, while others are minors. Most of our respondents are students, maybe because our social circle contains many students since we are university students.
On the last question in the demographic section, we asked which sectors they are coming from to make a correlation between their scope of job to how frequent they are going online. Based on the online survey, most of our respondents are in engineering industry sectors and certainly from other sectors too, such as finance, IT, online business, accounts, medical, along with transportation. Next, we move on to the topic questions where most of the answers were obtained from multiple choice answers. Question 5, we asked the respondents if they seem to be going online more since MCO started. 89.5% responded with yes, where all 48.4% of the students makes up the division. Undeniably, 80.6% of the employed respondents also stated that they have been going online more. As meetings, conferences, and lectures is conducted online, employees and students find themselves having to utilize suitable softwares or applications. Next, question 6, we asked if they feel that their data is protected online, especially during this pandemic. The graph shows 47.4% of the respondents were not sure if their data is protected online during this pandemic, and 40% were sure that their data is protected. However, these mixed results shows that society are in confusion and insecure regarding their state of cybersecurity. The last from my part, in question 7, we can see that most of the respondents, around 84.2%, have never been a victim to cybersecurity threats. Though this is a great news to hear, society should not keep their guards down, especially since it shows around 9.5% have been a victim of cybersecurity threats, with the others being unsure. Ironically, 66.7% of the respondents who responded with yes is aged 19 to 25.
Next question that was asked was whether the respondents saw an increase in cybersecurity threats during the COVID-19 pandemic as compared to the time before. And more than half of our respondents have seen an increase, with a percentage of 51.6%. And 14.7% of our respondents did not see an increase in the cybersecurity threats. Respondents were also asked whether they received any fake news during this pandemic. And 82.1%, which is 78 out of 95 respondents, have received this fake news. Meanwhile, 11.6% of the respondents did not receive any fake news during this pandemic. From the 78 respondents that have received fake news, 81.1% have been news received from social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and WhatsApp. Meanwhile, 31.6% of the news received were also from friends and relatives, which are verbally. And 7.4% of the fake news were also received from television, and the remaining 9.5% were from fake news or from blogs. Respondents were also asked about the cybersecurity threats that they have heard of but have not been exposed to much. And based on the survey, we have found out that respondents are aware of call phishing. This is where cybercriminals impersonate authorities, such as people from the government or the tax people. Next, they are also aware of accounts hacking, online banking scammers, and telephone scammers. Other than that, the respondents are aware of scams and ransomware in online applications.
For question 12, we asked the respondents for their suggestion to enhance the cybersecurity in our country. Most people propose that the government should enforce and tighten the cybersecurity law by putting the cybersecurity criminal in jail or fining them Rm50,000. For personal, the users should change the password regularly and install firewall to ensure the data are protected and the accounts will not get hacked. We also should wait for the proper announcement and the news instead of believing the news from social media easily. Apart from that, we should have various sources of news instead of only having one source of news. In addition, the respondents also propose that we should educate the public regarding the cybersecurity issues, especially the elderly people who are new to social media. This is because if they have the knowledge regarding the cybersecurity issue, they will be more aware and will not fall into the traps easily. In conclusion, the research result will help to alert the society about the cybersecurity danger and be more aware of the COVID-19 related news. The government should heavily enforce the law on cybersecurity. This research also helps to mitigate the cybersecurity risk and can focus on those who need to rely on online platform more during this pandemic COVID-19, especially during the MCO. Cybersecurity risks can be minimized if the authorities and the society can work together to curb this cyber danger. Everyone will be clear on how to protect their personal data and keep themselves safe from receiving any fake news or information.
That is all from our group. Thank you for watching and your attention.